Green, green, green.
These drivers put on a great show
on every type of track.
driving these cars, banging off of each other.
Now, he gets sideways. He's off the racetrack. There he goes, trying to make the pass. If you're a driver trying to get in, you get little opportunities like that. Watch how hard these guys are going to drive.
Checkered flag in the air.
Checker flag there, champion.
Well, it's been a bit of a wait, but we're ready for round number 2 of the K&N Pro Series West. Today we're at Stockton 99 Speedway for the G-Oil 150, race number 2 of 2013. Cars are on the grid. Hi, everybody. Ray Dunlap along with Phil Parsons. Bernadette Santacola will be patrolling the pits for us today. And we have absolutely beautiful weather here at Stockton 99 Speedway. And before we fire the engines, let's get Bernadette's thoughts before green.
Thanks, guys. Well, it's early in the season, but there seems to be a familiar tone settling in. Greg Pursley's leading the points after that win in Phoenix. Now his new teammate, Cameron Haley, is leading the field here tonight. It makes you wonder, can anyone win a race without Gene Price in his corner?
Pretty good question, Phil. That has certainly been the dominant team, and in 2012, they were all over it. And once again, at the top of the points, Greg Pursley, driver of the number 26 for Gene Price.
Yet right behind him, his teammate Cameron Haley, only 5 points out early on in the season. But to be successful here at Stockton, you have to turn the middle. Very tight corners on this quarter-mile track, and then you have to get that forward bite up off the corner. And as always, on a tough track, too tough to pass, you got to have track position.
Well, let's hear from our pole sitter.
All right, guys, we've said it. Most poles means most wins. Cameron Haley, you're on the pole here tonight. How are you going to stay ahead?
Well, you know, we don't really have too much of a strategy other than focus on our own race and make sure we're there at the end. I mean, this number 24 cabinets by Haley Ford Fusion has been great all day. Practice, qualifying, and we're just going to keep that going.
How important are restarts, too, with such a short field?
Oh, they're huge. I mean, we're going to be starting on the inside all night here, so hopefully we'll get a good restart and have them by the time we get out to 2.
Thank you. Cameron Haley on the pole here tonight.
Thank you, Bernadette. What a great season it's been for him already. The big winner down at the Battle of the Beach in Daytona, even though, Phil, that wasn't a points race.
Yeah, he's looking for that first point win. It could come here tonight. He's awfully fast.
Young Cameron Haley from Canada on the pole tonight. We'll get ready for the G-Oil 150 after this break. Engines have fired here at Stockton 99 Speedway. We'll be ready to go green here shortly. But you know what? Social media has become a big part of what we do. With more, here's Bernadette.
Ever had a question you wanted to ask a driver, crew chief, or even me? Well, now you can. Tweet to @BernieSports, and your question will be answered during our next race. Get your voice heard. Tweet @BernieSports, #KNN West.
So we'll be looking forward to the upcoming races as we'll see what Bernadette's got going on out there in Twitter land. Here's our starting lineup, Phil. As we said, Haley on the pole, Derek Thorne with a very fast race car.
Yeah, certainly has. He's been fast all night. Cole Custer's going to make his debut, coming off a great third-place run in the East Series back to Richmond a couple weeks ago.
24 drivers in our starting lineup tonight, and 4 of them making their series debut here in the K&N Pro Series West. Green flag is out. The G-Oil 150 is underway.
Boy, Derek Thorne drove it hard into turn number 1, and he's going to stay even with him. Now he's in the preferred line, Ray, on the outside in 3 and 4.
Oh, and Haley gets a little bit loose there. He is fighting the wheel and down the front straightaway. Derek Thorne's going to lead lap number 1, even though Haley was our pole sitter.
You want to be on the bottom down in 1 and 2, but you want to be on the top in 3 and 4. Derek Thorne has a spot.
Cameron Haley said in his pre-race interview there that he thought the inside was going to be the right place to start, but it didn't work out that time.
He just got a little bit loose, and Derek Thorne did a great job staying even with him through that first time through 1 and 2.
The Sunrise Ford out in front. Bob Brancati's race car, number 6, Thorne to the point, and Cameron Haley drops to 2nd place after winning fast qualifier this weekend.
Yeah, you saw Derek Thorne led 3 races last year, so we see a great side-by-side battle. We see Eric Holmes back in now. He did not run Phoenix. He's going to run a limited schedule for Bill McAnally. There he is right there in the 20 Napa car.
Holmes had made starts in this series for 5 or 6 years consecutively and then did not start Phoenix, so good to see him back behind the wheel for sure.
I know he's going to be back at Sonoma, Roseville, a couple other races, looking to do more.
22 series races at this track, Phil. An incredible history. There were a few years where we didn't race here at Stockton. They thought this was going to get turned into a shopping mall of some kind, but I'm sure glad that didn't happen because it's great to see racing back here, and we've got a good crowd on hand.
We really do, and it's amazing that not one former winner at this racetrack is in the field tonight.
We will have a new Stockton winner first show tonight. right here at the G-Oil 150.
Derek Thorne wants to put his name in the record book, it looks like, but Cameron Haley's able to stay right with him.
You know, it was interesting hearing Bernadette talk about Gene Price Motorsports because they really did dominate last year. Dylan Kwasniewski won the championship. Pursley was right there with lots of different winners throughout the course of the season. We had a very entertaining year in 2012 for sure.
Yeah, we did. And there's that car we talked about, Derek Thorne, the 6 car, winning a couple times last year. Was talking to Bill Sedgwick, his crew chief, down in the garage area, and Bill said that they really felt like they improved their program over the winter, has some better stuff. They were really fast at the Battle of the Beach earlier this year and also had a top 5 finish at Phoenix, so looks like they're primed for a great championship run.
In the first 6 races last year, we had 5 different winners. Kwasniewski doubled up on us, but that was an incredible start because the year prior to that, it was all Greg Pursley at the beginning of the season. I think the competition has really evened up in this division.
Yeah, it certainly has. Greg won 6 of the first 8 races back there a couple years ago, so as you can see right now, there's some great competition. Cameron Haley doing a great job. It won't be long before he gets to victory lane in a point race if it doesn't happen tonight. Ooh, trouble right in front of the leaders.
One car spins coming off at turn number 2.
Looks like the 52 car.
Ryan Philpott in the 5150 energy drink Ford has gone around, no question. We saw Griffin Steinfeld had gone a lap down in the Our Military Kids Dodge. So we are already into lap traffic here, and that's pretty, that's standard here at Stockton.
Yeah, it certainly is. We're going to have a restart here now. It's going to be interesting to see whether Derek Thorne picks the inside like Cameron Haley did on the initial start. Thorne was able to wrestle the lead away from Haley from the outside, so it's going to be interesting to see if Derek is going to stick with that outside or if he's going to go back to the bottom.
So we've already had our first caution tonight in the G-Oil 150. We need to take a short break. Back with more K&N Racing after this. The green flag of the 2013 K&M Pro Series West. Haley goes to the outside, Thorne on the bottom, and boy, he gets a good bite coming up off turn number 2.
Yeah, I think it was a good move by Derek Thorne to take that bottom. Again, it's admittedly the bottom of the racetrack down in 1 and 2 is the place to be.
We've got some beating and banging going on here, Phil, already. Back there in 5th, I saw a couple cars getting sideways, and here comes Pursley. He is putting the bumper to his teammate.
Yeah, I believe he had Cameron turn sideways just for a moment there, but you see Haley is going to fight back on the outside, the preferred line in 3 and 4.
He got a nice bite off that corner. Here goes the 26 to the bottom. Pursley with that car really loose coming off of the corner.
Yeah, he got real loose down there. That allowed Haley to squirt out in front of him. Now Haley has that spot unchallenged.
See Sergio Pena there in the Napa car. That's car number 16. He was a frequent competitor in the K&M Pro Series East, has decided to go full-time here on the West Coast and has had a good start to the season.
Yeah, Sergio has 3 wins in the East Series. Now going to try to make his mark here on the West. Had a top 5 finish in his debut at Phoenix, first time out this year.
Brett Thompson in the Rich Thompson Trucking number 61, a frequent competitor in this series. Thompson is down on the bottom of the racetrack, and again, contact all over the track as he's running side by side with Giles Thornton.
Yeah, great battle. Brett Thompson had a top 10 finish first time out here at Phoenix. You see Thornton get a little bit looser at the exit of number 2.
Phil, I made the mention that 4 of these drivers making their series debut. How tough is it to come to a tight little bull ring like this to be your very first start in one of these kind of big race cars?
Yeah, this is one of the more challenging racetracks on the West Series circuit. Probably the best place to pass here is at the exit of turn number 4. It's really narrow at the exit of turn number 2. All the drivers say, where you want to get him? That's at the exit of 4. Get underneath him and beat him down to the next corner.
Derek Thorne has opened up about a 3-car length lead right now on Cameron Haley. Haley made a big jump this year. He jumps into that Gene Price Motorsports team. And Phil, I think it's important to note that this is the car and the team that won the championship a year ago with Kwasniewski driving.
Yeah, it looks different now. It's number 24. It was number 03 with Kwasniewski, but again, same strong Gene Price Motorsports team.
Well, let's get some more information on Cameron Haley. Let's get back down to the pits and rejoin with Bernadette.
All right, guys, well, it's awesome to see team owners battle it out. It seems very familiar to this series, Bill McAnally Racing and Gene Price Motorsports. I talked to Bill McAnally earlier and asked him about Cameron Haley, if he was sad to see him go. He said if it was his son, he'd want what's best for him. After Dylan Kwasniewski left, that was the best spot available, and he's happy Cameron's in it.
Without a doubt. Yeah, he's in a great place. Gene Price really does it the right way. Jerry Pitts and all the guys there at Gene Price Motorsports have great equipment. They continue to make their equipment better and better. We saw that in Daytona at the Battle of the Beach when they were racing against the East Series guys. Greg Pursley and Cameron Haley were very, very dominant. Cameron Haley ended up with a win.
And we've got to look at two of McAnally's race cars there, and there's no question that's really good equipment too. Bill McAnally puts out great stuff, but when you get a chance to jump in the car that won the championship, you got to go for it.
Yeah, without a doubt here, as we see some lap traffic for our leader, Derek Thorne. He's got a lap car now in between he and Cameron Haley. There's Carl Haar, the 2 car. And there's the 56 car. That's Griffin Steinfeld.
Steinfeld going another lap down. We saw John Wood also being passed there, and Thorne able to go to the bottom of the racetrack and dispose of some of the lap traffic here.
Can be such a huge advantage to be the leader. The first time you get to the lap cars, the flagman's working on your behalf to give the move over flag. You could really gain a lot of ground here on your second place competitor.
And we see Haley now going to have to work on that number 2 Westworld Computers race car of Carl Haar. He will dive to the bottom and should have the preferred line, but Haar fights back on the top.
Yeah, got a lot of momentum from the top side off of turn number 4. Haley should have it now. He has a bit of an advantage at the exit of 2, and he uses up the racetrack a little bit, and Carl gets off the throttle.
Puts the power down, and here comes Pursley fighting his way through, and we see Michael Self now in the picture for the first time in that Golden Gate Meats Chevrolet.
Yeah, Michael Self had a top 5 finish at Phoenix. First time out, he finished 3rd this year after dominating the fall race at Phoenix last year. Great season in 2012 for that 21 team.
No question about it. Michael Self had told me in Phoenix he's going to hopefully do a few nationwide series races this year. Continue on chasing wins right here in the K&M Pro Series West.
Yeah, he's a threat each and every time he gets in one of these races. He's right there behind Greg Pursley, our winner from Phoenix.
You see Bay Biodiesel on there too, Phil, and I think it's important for us to note that Jack Sellers has started every race here at Stockton 99 since 2002, and Jack not in the field tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jack was one of the cars that didn't qualify. Had a huge field of cars here for this race. I think we sent about 6 cars home, which you hate to send anybody home, but it shows the health of the series that we had so many cars show up.
Gentleman Jack, one of our favorites all time, a longtime competitor here in the West Series. And we've got a good battle on the racetrack right now as Michael Self is bringing that 21 right up on the bumper of Pursley. He's going to put the pressure on him down the front straightaway.
Goes trouble off turn number 2. Got a car around on the inside of the racetrack.
Caution will be out for the second time tonight in the G-Oil 150. Thorne slows down his Sunrise Ford.
Going to erase that huge advantage. Travis Milburn, the 14 car, is the one that was around at the exit of turn number 2.
Yeah, that Cook's Collision Toyota got a good bit loose off of the corner. He slides it down, not able to fire the engine, so we'll be back under the yellow for the second time tonight.
Going to allow Cameron Haley to close up on Derek Thorne. Derek had opened up a bit of a advantage, mostly because of the lap traffic he was able to maneuver by.
So Cameron Haley won the pole tonight, but Derek Thorne was able to get the jump on him right from the drop of the green flag. Second caution of the night, and we'll be back with more from Stockton 99. Welcome back to the K&M Pro Series West. We're 1/3 of the way through. Ray Dunlap along with Phil Parsons and Bernadette Santacola bringing you the action tonight. Beautiful night and a great crowd on hand here at Stockton 99. Green flag is back out. You notice the 6 car took the bottom line again, and he's able to get a really good jump on that restart.
Yeah, he pretty much had Cameron Haley cleared by the time he got to turn number 1. Now Pursley side by side with Haley in the battle for second.
There's a pair of teammates, and they're bumping fenders as they come down the front straightaway.
It's not a way to treat your teammate, is it?
I don't think so. Gene Price probably doesn't think so.
Yeah, Greg Pursley knows he needs to stay even with Cameron Haley. Ooh, not able to do it. Got a little bit loose on the bottom down there in 3 and 4, and Haley has a spot back.
And Holmes was up on the inside of Michael Self, and he also got loose on the bottom of the racetrack, so that made them go back to single file. So now we're single file for the front 6 cars.
We talked about one of the keys to getting around this racetrack was getting the power down, get that car turned in the center of the corner, and getting that 650, 700 horsepower down to the racetrack. Extremely hard to do on this little tight quarter mile.
Tough to do to get your setup just right, get the gearing just right, and make your driver happy throughout the night. And keep in mind, we'll have some worn out tires after we get through 150 laps here too.
I was talking to Eric Holmes right now. Eric holds down the 6th spot, and he said that he has a brand new car here, and he just hasn't been able to get that forward bite that he's been looking for.
See the number 61 of Brett Thompson hanging right in there. He was able to get up to the back bumper of the number 20, but look, Phil, the yellow is out again. Cole Custer has gone around and looks like he's made some contact.
Yeah, you see the damage to the rear of that car. That's actually a 3rd car for Bob Bruncati. Cole did an outstanding job at Richmond a couple of weeks ago in the E-Series, finishing in the 3rd position. Only 15 years old, turned 15 in January, and doing an outstanding job.
It never ceases to amaze me how talented some of these young men are. Justice Brothers on the quarter panels there, along with Sunrise Ford, and they're going to have to take that one to the garage and do a little work on it.
See a little bit of contact. Looks like the 29 of Dallas Montes got into Cole, turned him around at the exit of 4.
And then we see the 71 of Darrell Haar in that iWorld Connect race car hit him on the bottom side of the racetrack, and that caused a good bit of that damage.
Looks like Cole had a problem keeping this car running, but he was able to fire it just as the leaders got there for the restart. He's going to restart right in front of the leaders.
He's going to try to get back around, and I saw a good bit of steam coming off of Brett Thompson's race car too, so he may have a little too much tape on the front end of that number 61.
Yeah, there's really no reason on a little quarter-mile racetrack like this. It was a great battle for the lead to have that much tape on the front end, because you're not going to gain really any aerodynamic advantage.
Maybe there's a piece of trash on there, not sure, but some reason that car does look like it's running hot a little bit. Here comes Pursley. Pursley's going to look to the inside. It's the 6th, then right behind him Cameron Haley and Greg Pursley. So Gene Price Motorsports runs 2nd and 3rd. Michael Self in the 4th position right now, and we've got another spin as the 99 goes around.
That's Jamie Kresick, the 99. He's making his 3rd start ever here in the series. We saw the 00 of Cole Custer turn into the garage just as the leaders went by going in turn number 1.
So while Custer heads to the inside to get repairs on that race car, it looks to me like Jamie might be able to fire this thing and get back in line.
Yeah, I think he has to wait for the field to cycle by before he can have a place to get turned around. Going to be yet another restart for Derek Thorne. He's been flawless so far on the restarts. He wrestled the lead away from Haley on the initial start of the race from the outside, and then he's been, again, just perfect on the restarts from the inside.
Take another look at it here, Phil. You see there's a good bit of contact all around this racetrack, pretty much everywhere we look.
Yeah, Kresick was running in the top 10 on the outside of Brett Thompson. There's just a little bit of contact there, heavy traffic right after the restart.
Luis Terrell did a real nice job of dropping to the inside and avoiding contact there.
Yeah, Luis, one of the guys making his debut, doing an outstanding job here.
Saw Dylan Lupton go by in that number 9, one of Bruncati's other race cars.
See, there's the 00 of Cole Custer back on the racetrack. They made repairs in the garage here. It got him back out for experience.
69 laps complete in tonight's G-Oil 150. And this time Derek Thorne will go to the high side. Cameron Haley will be at the bottom side of the racetrack as we get ready to restart.
Now this is a bit of a surprise to me, why Derek Thorne took the outside, but he made it work. He beat Cameron Haley down into turn number 1.
Green flag back out. Here we go. Pursley right behind his teammate, and he crowds Michael Self up to the high side of the track. Contact there.
We know you're most vulnerable right on the restarts. Greg Pursley was very aggressive there and trying to get that 3rd spot back.
Didn't work out for Michael Self as he lost a position there, and we see Holmes and Pena right on his bumper. But boy, there's a lot of beating and banging going on.
Yeah, Thornton in the 12 car turned Holmes sideways. You see him try to move to the outside of the 20 of Eric Holmes, not able to do it. Now Brett Thompson, the 61, jumps to the inside of Thornton.
Thompson to the inside, Thornton on the high side. There's a pair of Napa race cars at the front of your view right there. We see Pena and also Holmes.
See the 74 of Terrell on the outside of Brett Thompson trying to wrestle a spot away.
Is there any way to conserve here tonight, Phil, or is this a full-out 150-lap sprint?
I think it's a full-out war here, Ray, because you have to fight for track position every inch of the way. It's so hard to pass here, especially when you get these double foul restarts. You really have to fight for your spot or try to take advantage of moving up.
If you missed the start of the race tonight, Cameron Haley was on the pole, but as they came down for the green, Derek Thorne got a real good jump into 1 and 2, and he has been out front for all 76 laps so far.
See, there's a bit of a gap now between Cameron Haley, the 24, and our third place runner, Greg Pursley, in the 26. There's Sergio Pena right there. He runs in the 5th position. You see Michael Self all over the back of Greg Pursley. Caution again.
Yellow flag is out once again here at the G-Oil 150.
There's a 51 of Carlos Vieira. That's in the middle of turn 1 and 2. You see a little bit of damage to the front end of that car. Could have been a chain reaction possibly.
Now he and Ryan Philpott's cars look very similar with that 5150 energy drink, but Philpott is in the garage. Vieira looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he was able to refire that car again. A little bit of damage to the front end of the car. Have to make sure that he gets the air to the radiator. Looks like the grill opening is unscathed.
See the 30 of John Wood will drop in right behind him, and they will get the lineup set, and hopefully we'll be back to green flag again. Phil, what does Cameron Haley or maybe Greg Pursley, whoever gets up there, what do they have to do? Obviously, they want to pass the front running car, but so far it has looked like that 6 has had just the right line in every part of the racetrack.
Yeah, and it's such an advantage to be the boss on the restart. You know, you're not supposed to beat the leader back to the line. Derek Thorne has a lot of experience on these restarts. He's doing a terrific job. Got to victory lane a couple times last year, so he knows how to win, and he's been flawless so far.
He won at Lake Havasu last year, which was actually race number 2 of the season. Typically, we always start the season at Phoenix and end it there, but a great schedule coming your way in 2013 for the K&N Pro Series West, and we'll be back to Stockton. Back to Stockton 99 Speedway, getting ready for another restart. It's been caution fever here in the last 25 laps. Hopefully we can get a little green flag run here. The field is bunched up 2 by 2, and we're ready to go. Down to the inside, Cameron Haley, Derek Thorne to the outside, and the green flag's back out.
Derek Thorne not quite able to clear Haley by the time they got to turn number 1. Ooh, a little bit of contact.
Oh, right rear quarter goes from Haley right into that left rear of the 6, but they were able to continue. Doesn't appear that there was any damage near the tire.
How about Michael Self now? He's got the 3rd spot. He got by the 26 of Pursley, now who's now side by side with Pena for 4th.
Pursley is on the high side. Pena coming down. They're beating fenders as they go down across the stripe. But Pursley says, I'm not going to give that spot up that easy.
He's going to crowd Pena down to the inside, down there in 1 and 2. Now Pursley will have the preferred line on the outside. Let's see if we can beat him off turn number 4. He's got a, ooh, more contact.
These guys are loose coming up off the corner. But Pena was trying to hold that bottom line, but it just doesn't appear it's going to work.
Pena now has to be concerned with his teammate Eric Holmes, who's right behind him now in the other Napa car.
Nice speed shot as you see these guys coming down the front straightaway. 86 laps complete of 150 tonight here at the historic Stockton 99 Speedway.
Dude, when you turn laps at 13.5, 14 seconds a lap, it really puts a lot of laps on the board quickly. We're already well over halfway in this race.
You know, Phil, this place was built in 1947. There's a lot of history gone around this little bull ring.
Yeah, you were just a little kid back then, right?
Yeah.
See, Pursley now has a comfortable edge over Pena, if one car length could be considered comfortable.
So Derek Thorne has jumped out to now about a 5-car length lead. Michael Self has moved up into 3rd, and back and forth Greg Pursley in that number 26. Pena trying to keep the heat on him.
See all the tire marks on the left side of the 26 of Greg Pursley. Most of those courtesy of the 16 of Sergio Pena, but hard racing after the restarts. That's when you have to make something happen. There's a good battle for the 9th spot. Dylan Lupton in the 2nd. Bob Bruncati, number 9, has that spot in the 74 of Terrell trying to get it back.
Got the Vadio sponsorship there on the hood, and here we go looking into that corner. These guys putting some serious pressure on. Saw Bobby Runyon right there in that picture too, one of the drivers making his career first start in the K&N Pro Series West.
It's a good shot of Brett Thompson, the 61, longtime competitor here in the series, as we go back to the battle between Lupton in the 9 and Terrell in the 74. You know that Terrell That 74 car is the same car that Derek Thorne ran a couple years ago in the Toyota All-Star Showdown when he sat on the pole and finished in the top 5. That's the exact same race car.
Fast race car for sure. And speaking of Derek Thorne, he is opening up the lead a bit here tonight in this G-Oil 150, now about 5 car lengths.
See, the 16 of Sergio Pena's been able to get by Persley for that 4th spot. Pena's on the move. Caution again.
Yellow flag is out, and the cars will begin to slow one more time. And looks like Brett Thompson got her a little loose off of turn number 2, and he spun that 61 around back to yellow, and he's got some damage on that right front.
He was able to get that car refired and get gone before the 6 of Derek Thorne got there, so he does stay on the lead lap.
You know, I mentioned that Thorne had won at Havasu last year. That was it was really gratifying to see that. But to me, Phil, it was really the last 3 or 4 races of the season that was very impressive watching Derek Thorne as he really gained his confidence, and it just appears he's a much more confident race car driver as we begin 2013.
Yeah, got another win at Albuquerque late in the season, but we're used to seeing that 6 car in victory lane every year with whoever's driving it. Luis Martinez got to victory lane last year in that car, and we saw Jason Bowles win our championship driving for Bob Brumcati.
Absolutely, and really a great group of cars at the front of this field tonight. But so far, it's all been Derek Thorne in the G-Oil 150. We'll come back with more racing after this. In event number 1 of 2013, but race number 2 has had no shortage of action tonight at Stockton 99 Speedway. We've been under caution and ready to go back to green right now. Derek Thorne takes the high side, Cameron Haley to the bottom, and here we go. Green flag is back out.
A good start by Haley. It looked like Michael Self was going to peek at the inside, maybe thinking about 3 wide. I don't think it would have worked.
For a second, he looked like he might go in the middle, but I'm sure they decided that wasn't a good idea.
These restarts have been really, really tough. That's where spots have been gained and lost, though, on these restarts.
Love the contour of this racetrack and the layout of it. It's definitely one of the most challenging when it comes to short tracks across the West Coast. And here we go, beating and banging again. Persley to the inside, Pena to the high side, and Eric Holmes right there keeping an eye on both of their bumpers.
Yeah, we saw Pena get that spot away from 26 of Persley before that last caution flag. Persley's trying to get it back.
There they go. Fender to fender one more time.
Eric Holmes right behind that side-by-side battle, trying to take advantage of whoever may slip.
And it looks like Persley will go to the high side. Here comes Holmes. He's going to look down to the inside.
He got the car turned down underneath Persley, though, but couldn't get the power down. Got a little bit loose. Ooh, a little bit of contact at the exit of 2.
Eric Holmes, a 17-time winner and a past champion in this series, racing with a 14-time winner, Greg Persley, also a champion.
And we've got the 12 car with Giles Thornton right behind them, a 15-year-old.
Yeah, there's a good bit of diversity here for sure. Haley, a youngster, just trying to make his mark in this series.
Had an outstanding debut. His debut when he was 15 years old. Right after he turned 15, he finished 2nd in his first ever start.
That's pretty good. He's in the 24 now. The 21 is Self.
Has 3 second-place finishes now for his career, not counting certainly the big win he had at the Battle at the Beach.
Yeah, but that one didn't count for points. Now, he's got a trophy, and he can say, I won at Daytona, but he's still looking for that first all-important one where he gets the points for finishing first here in the West Series.
Yeah, Michael Self all over the back of Haley in that battle for 2nd. There's Sergio Pena, the 16, then a couple car lengths back to the 26 of Persley. Oh, Carl Haar is around in the 2 car. No caution yet.
Oh, he's right in the middle of the racetrack. We're going to have a yellow for that, and here it is. Yellow comes out, and that's caution number 7 tonight here at Stockton 99.
Don't see any damage to Carl's car. Could have been some incidental contact that got him turned around over there in 1 and 2.
Shouldn't take long to get this straightened back out and get our lineup going. Phil, we're inside of 40 laps here, so your approach, or what do you say to our leader, Derek Thorne?
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting that advantage on those restarts. That's been so critical. Now, for the guys behind him, make something happen.
Well, we need to get back down trackside and check in with Bernadette. I know you've been listening to the radio.
All right, guys, just over the radio right now, I heard NASCAR said to Greg Pursley in that number 26 car, if he touches one more car, they will black flag him.
Whoa.
Well, I think you could probably say that about to any competitor here at this racetrack, but it's awfully hard to be put under the gun there and say, okay, this is a quarter-mile racetrack, a bull ring, and don't hit anybody.
And just about every car we look at, it's got some sort of a fender mark on it, Phil.
Another great restart by Derek Thorne. Now let's see what Haley can do. Can he stay even through 1 and 2? He really needs the advantage off of 2 because the outside is so good down in 3 and 4.
Pursley's got to be inside of his race car going. Are they serious? Do they really not want me to touch one more race car tonight?
Pursley was able to get out in front of Eric Holmes to hold on. Oh, you see Michael Self gets into Sergio Pena. A little bit of contact. Self's on the inside.
They're fender to fender as they go into turn number 3. Looks like Self will get the spot, and there goes Pursley around at the hands of Eric Holmes in car number 20.
Ray, it looked like the caution was out for Taylor Cusick. I caught a glimpse of the caution flag. I think Greg Pursley realized it before Eric Holmes did. Eric, I don't think his spotter told him yet. He ran in the back of Greg Pursley, turned him around.
And definitely some fluid has come out of Cusick's Freightliner of Arizona race car. So obviously if that had the yellow already out and Pursley gets spun off 4, he's the guy who's going to take the worst of it.
And don't you know, he was just warned not to touch another car, and then 2 laps later he gets spun out.
Yeah, that seems like that's the way it goes some days.
See, Pursley's up beside of Eric Holmes right now to note his displeasure. And again, from Greg Pursley's side of it, he got run into. Watch here now. I think just about right now, I think the caution's going to come out. You see Eric got in the throttle a little bit, but really Greg didn't have anywhere to go. He was stuck to the inside of Pena. There's another view. You see Greg on the inside, and around he goes. Caution flag was already waving.
Yeah, the yellow is out, and Luis Terrell goes to the bottom of the racetrack once again and does a great job of avoiding this. No contact for his number 74 as he dives to the bottom. But Pursley getting spun there, he's going to lose a number of spots.
Yeah, tough break. Red flag is going to be displayed to clean up that mess that Cusick left over there.
Oh, boy, they got the speedy dry going out there, don't they?
Yeah, they certainly do here. Just inside of just a handful of laps to go here. You want to make sure that the racetrack is raceable, and I think the NASCAR officials doing a great job to ensure that.
And Phil, we've got just about 30 laps to go, so we will get this racetrack cleaned up, and we'll come back with more racing in tonight's broadcast of the G-Oil 150. Back to race number 2 of the K&M Pro Series West for 2013. Ray Dunlap, Phil Parsons, and Bernadette Santacola bringing you the broadcast tonight. And we are getting the field lined back up. We've seen this a lot tonight. The 24 to the inside, 6 to the high side, and the 6 gets another great jump on the green flag.
He certainly does. Haley does a great job on the inside down to 1 and 2, but when he gets to 3 and 4, then Thorne really has the advantage. Side by side for 3rd.
The number 20 of Holmes goes to the high side. Pena right down below. Those guys are teammates, and they're racing hard.
Boy, don't you think they want to stay off each other, but it's so hard to do at this racetrack.
Holmes looks like he gets a little bit of the advantage, and here comes the 9, and Pena is really loose off 4.
Yeah, Lupton, the 9, is right there trying to take advantage of who may slip in front of him.
Really nice job tonight by young Dylan Lupton. Here's good side-by-side battle right here, too.
Both these drivers, the 74 making his debut, as well as the 12 of Thornton.
Couple of real young drivers there that have been in our screen, and there they go down the back straightaway. And Luis will try to go to the bottom and see if he can make it work, but oh, he had to hit the brakes pretty hard.
Ooh, caution out again. See, Brett Thompson is around once again. Had that damage to the right front corner from an earlier incident.
I think Thompson may have got again into the wall a little bit over in 1 and 2. So as the yellow comes out once again.
Derek Thorne said, how many of these restarts am I going to have to figure out and be flawless?
He's had them mastered so far, but you hope for not many more of them.
I think it's been a real interesting strategy, though. Early on, he restarted from the inside, and as the race is worn on, he started restarting from the outside and made them both work.
And Bernadette asked Cameron Haley at the top of this show, are you ready for restarts? And he's done a good job, but just not good enough quite yet.
Well, I mean, it's such a huge advantage to be the leader, like the 6 is of Derek Thorne. So he has the advantage. He gets to go when he wants to go, so it's extremely challenging for the guy on his inside or outside, depending on where he restarts, to try to take advantage of.
You know, Phil, I was looking through the record books a little bit here. How about the late Jack McCoy with 5 wins at this racetrack? Mike David piled up 3. Dick Bound and Jim Bound each had a pair of them, along with Austin Cameron. But some really historical names in the record book here. But McCoy with 5, that's pretty tough to get 5 victories at a track this tough.
Yeah, we saw Brett Thompson there a moment ago that caused this most recent caution. He's got a couple top 5 finishes here at Stockton. Longtime competitor here in the series.
So the pace car has the lights out. We're going to try to do this one more time. Thorne will once again take the high side in that Sunrise Ford. The cabinets by Haley, number 24, to the bottom.
Boy, Derek got on the throttle early, but Haley stays right with him as they enter 1.
Back to green flag racing. We have 14 laps remaining, and Haley putting the pressure on.
He just can't do it. Derek Thorne's able to drive that car in the corner extremely hard. Caution's out yet again. That's the 12 of Thornton.
I'm not sure what happened there, Phil. I was looking at the other end of the racetrack and didn't see it. We'll see if we get a replay on this, but Thornton goes around to bring the yellow out.
Yeah, running up in the top 10, doing an outstanding job in his debut. You know, he's got a great mentor for that team and for his driving. You see right there, you see the 9 of Lupton's going to get into him. Just a slight contact and turns him around there, but everyone does an outstanding job avoiding him. But Rick Crawford is his driving coach.
Yeah, no, that's some guy with a lot of history in racing for sure. Back to caution once again at Stockton. 99 Speedway. We're in Stockton, California, and no driver in the field tonight has ever won a K&M Pro Series West race here. Cameron Haley hopes to put his name in the record books as a first-time winner, and Derek Thorne hoping that he can hold him off, and they're side by side. Haley has the position down the back straightaway.
Best opportunity. Look at, how about Sergio Pena? Made it 3 wide.
Oh my, Haley hits the brakes. These guys they can't go 3 wide into the corner.
What an outstanding job by Sergio Pena. He knew that the restart is going to be his time to make something happen. He got by Haley, just didn't quite make it by Thorne.
Dover down into the bottom, and he hit the brakes hard, and now Pena may have a shot at Derek Thorne.
They may have been 4 wide at the exit of 4 just now.
They are all over the racetrack for sure. Here goes Haley back to 3rd. Luis Tyrell in his debut tonight running in the top 5, and Michael Self back there in 5th.
Just 6 laps to go right now. Derek Thorne said, please, no more caution flags. I've got a different guy chasing me now. I'm not sure what Pena may be capable of.
They are tight in the middle of the pack here. Greg Pursley now has moved back up, inched his way a little bit towards the front.
See the 74 of Terrell trying to get by the 24 Haley, making his debut, doing an outstanding job. There's the 21 of Michael Self. He's got the remaining spot in the top 5. And then Dallas Montes up in the 6th spot.
Self making just his 2nd start here. Oh,
he got sideways.
He's going to dive it in there, and it gets loose in the center, and the 21 goes around. So far, no caution. He gets it going.
They're going to stay green. Looked like Michael Self drove down across the apron. Car started bouncing, lost control, but meanwhile, look at the big lead that Thorne has.
And all the spotters were on the radio saying crash in turn number 2, but we stay green. And Thorne now has a 4 or 5 car length over Sergio Pena.
Thorne wants to get back to the start-finish line before the caution comes out, so he knows we would not have a green-white checker. He's just about there, Ray.
Here he comes down the front straightaway. White flag goes in the air. 1 more lap to go, and we do have a spinner.
It's right in front of our leader. It's Bobby Runyon Jr. right in front of our leader, but the caution will be out, and that will be the official race.
The race will end under yellow here as they had taken the white flag, so we won't have a green-white checkered, and Derek Thorne is going to pick up a victory tonight. Guess what, Phil? He led every lap tonight.
It was eventful, though. Certainly wasn't without his challenges. You see, Pena has a great runner-up finish here in his 2nd race here in the West Series, but outstanding job by Bill Sedgwick and that entire Bob Brungatti team.
Derek Thorne now has 4 top 5s and 5 top 10s on tracks under a half mile, but this is going to be one he remembers tonight.
This is when Michael Self turns around. You see he dropped his left sides all the way down in the apron trying to get by the 74 car of Terrell Tough break took him right out of a top 5 finish.
One Thorne is going to want to remember, and one Michael Self might want to forget, as it was just 2 laps to go from the end when he spins out and loses major track position. Here comes the celebration from the Sunrise Ford team.
See, not a whole lot of damage to that car. You see just 1 tire mark there on the left side.
We'll hear from the winner when we come back to Stockton 99. Derek Thorne has won the G-Oil 150. Two wins a year ago, and tonight Derek Thorne wins in dominating fashion. He led all 150 laps right here in the G-Oil 150.
The winner of the second race for points in the K&N Pro Series West is Derek Thorne. Derek, you were able to take the lead on this race and not give it up.
It's been awesome. These guys worked their butt off in the off season. It's the second race of the year in 2013. We've had a big layoff since Phoenix, and Bill Sedgwick, Bob Brancati, and them. We came back for 2013 with a vengeance, and we're hoping that, hopefully there's more of this to come as the season progresses.
You told me you were confident earlier today. You're a big liar.
No, it's one of those things. It's tough. Stockton's a very tough facility. I think if you go back and watch races from 10, 15 years ago, usually the last few laps, your stuff's pretty tore up, and the guys get pretty aggressive. I saw the 16 do kind of a bonsai move, I guess you could call it, to be polite. And it's just one of those things that could have gone the other way. And I just can't thank Bob Leff, Ibach Springs. Who else I got? Loctite, Sunrise Ford. All my guys that support me. I love these guys to death. They're the greatest crew I could ask for, and it's great to bring a win home for them this year.
You said you didn't want someone 10 years younger than you beating you in a race. Well, you beat Cameron Haley tonight.
I like Cameron. Cameron's a good kid. He's got a good head on his shoulders for his age, and he's going to go a long ways in racing. And it's good to race with kids like that. He has a lot of respect, and it seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. And he drove a good, clean race, and I'm proud of him. He did good.
Tonight the victory is yours, though. Congratulations, Derek Thorne.
So Thorne, the winner tonight here at the G-Oil 150. He takes the checkered flag, and as we look at our results, you see great run for Pena. How about the debut for Luis Tyrell? He'll come home in 4th, and part-timer Eric Holmes in 5th place.
Yeah, Greg Persley ends up with a top 10 finish, just inside the top 10 and 10th, but I know he would like a whole lot more.
15th and 16th, important to note there. Self gets, after a spin, dropped back in the field. And a good run went bad for Bobby Runyon Jr. Now let's hear from our second place finisher.
What an insane race. Able to make some last minute late moves. How crazy was it out there?
It was wild. Short track racing at its finest. Michael Self, Derek Thorne, Greg Persley, my teammate Eric Holmes, all these guys, Cameron Haley, they all raced so aggressively, and we were giving it and receiving at the same time, just beating and banging the whole time. It was so much fun. It's easy to get frustrated there in the beginning, but there at the end, I tried to make, I didn't have anything for Derek or Cameron. They had great cars and they're great drivers, but I just had to go for it there at the end and see what I could do to pull off the win. Congratulations to Derek Thorne for getting this win. That's awesome. They worked really hard to get this. Just didn't have enough for there at the end, but thank you for BMR, Napa, and Toyota for giving me this opportunity. I had a lot of fun today. Probably one of the most fun races I've had in a long time.
Thank you, Sergio Pena, in 2nd place.
What a move, Phil, that he made there. That bonsai move to the bottom on Haley was absolutely spectacular, and that sets him up to be 4th in the points. Here's how it breaks down. Derek Thorne at the top of the leaderboard. And right now, let's go back and hear from our 3rd place finisher with Bernadette.
All right, Cameron Haley, guys coming in 3rd place, but what a tough battle staying ahead of Derek Thorne.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Derek's a great racer. We had a great countenance by Haley Ford Fusion the entire race. Went away a little bit in the center of 1 and 2 there towards the end, but overall great event tonight. We were really happy with our run, just couldn't quite get there at the end.
Well, you have 2 seconds so far in the season. The next one's going to be the win, right?
Oh, for sure. We're just keep working. We got a record of top 3 every single race this year, so we'll keep that rolling and go into Brainerd and get the 1st.
Right, well, Cameron Haley here in 3rd place.
Well, thank you, Bernadette. And Phil, the good news is we don't have as much of a long wait now because racing's about to kick up. We're ready for Bowman Gray in our next event right here for K&N Pro Series Racing in the East Division.
Another bull-ring quarter-mile racetrack there with a lot of beating and banging.
Well, it was all Derek Thorne tonight as he led wire to wire at Stockton 99. A lot of history here at this racetrack, and he'll put his name down as a winner in 2013. Night not so great for Greg Pursley, but Derek Thorne all smiles, and what a move by Sergio Pena. He'll come home second tonight. For Bernadette Santacola and Phil Parsons, I'm Ray Dunlap saying thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you next time as we race K&N coast to coast.